Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a just for the heck of it page. I had an open day on Tuesday, the 30th of January, and I'm sitting here on Monday, kind of watching for some contractors to come and do some work on the upstairs while uh, James is with Ava at a cancer survivor follow-up appointment. And I have this photo of John and me together. Um, Probably 2019, maybe. And it's outdoors. I was looking for an outdoor photo to kind of go with this, which is a scan or a photo of a framed piece of artwork, a print that I have that I got in New York um, on in on February 8th of 2008. And it was one of the very few eighths that I was away from John. And my then daughter-in-law, Nikki, who was pregnant with Ava at the time, um, came with me on what was my last business trip before retiring. And I saw this in a little shop. She and I were running up and down, doing a tour in the freezing cold weather. We stepped into a shop that had this framed art by this artist. This one is called Side by Side, and it has the two folks there, and it kind of looks like they're on a swing. There's like a chain kind of thing holding up the swing. It says we sat side by side in the morning light and looked out at the future together. And we had at that time, we had actually just the month before purchased the little house in Jackson, the little cottage, and the front porch looked east, and so it was very often that we were planning to sit out there and we did when sit out and have a cup of coffee together in the morning light and look at our future together, which was probably some kind of improvement project on the house or landscape or maintaining the pool or whatever. It wasn't work. We were retired, and it was strange because I worked for 40 years, and having that much control over a day was kind of a novel idea. So anyway, I brought this home. I had a friend who brought it home as a gift for John. I have John on my mind. Today is the 3-year anniversary of bringing him home from where he had been for 3 weeks, and actually believing that he was going to get better, and of course he didn't. And this was purchased on February 8th of 2008. He passed away on February 8th of 2021. So when we looked at our future together, I don't know that none of us thinks that we only have that much time left. Anyway, I've pulled together a bunch of things that mean something to me and a bunch of things that are just random. And there are people represented and things represented. Just as an example, there's a pattern paper that I'm using. I've already kind of got things laid out on the page. This is a pattern paper. It's a Heidi Swap paper. I couldn't tell you the collection because I've long since, but John saw it. It's like engineering drawings or architect drawings, and he saw it in Archivers, and we walked in the door. They had the collection um, right out front, and he loved it. So I bought a couple sheets of that paper. So I have that. I have his sunflower, of course, and a bright yellow half of a circle, and I've got a little floral cluster that's got his bright hot orange and red. It's got some of the colors that are in the little framed artwork. And at one time we were walking through Michael's or Joann's or someplace, and he saw this machine. It was a Fisker's fuse, very different from the fuse tool that's used to melt plastic together. This was a machine that did die cutting, embossing, and like offset printing or something. Anyway, it made these things. There were you had to buy the dies, that fit into it. You couldn't use anything that you bought other than meant for that machine, which I think was the downfall of the machine. I have long ago sold the machine, and I saved a few. I went through and used all of the tools and made at least one thing from those, and I've kind of been holding on to these. I love this. I love this hexagon, and it's the Compass Rose stamp is something that John really liked. So anyway, I'm going to try to work all of this into a page. And I have things. There's some flair that was made by my friend Adam. This background paper was given to me by my friend Sharon. I have other things that were gifts to me by people who prefer I don't name them, but you know who you are. This little penguin with the hearts is one of the printables from the Valentine collection at Scrap-A-Sketch, and it was designed by my friend Lisa, kind of especially because she knew John loved penguins. I have an ampersand because I like and I have another ampersand. There's a lot of old stuff. There's a little bit of new stuff. There's all of it kind of means something. So I'm going to kind of see if I can put a page together that makes any sense at all. So we that remains to be seen. I have a bunch of word strips, and I'm going to just kind of stack them along that vertical element. That's why I chose to use a vertical element, because I wanted lots of word strips that all kind of meant something. Let me see if I can get a good view here. I'm hearing something buzzing, and I apologize. I'm going to have to get up and run across the room. There are contractors here repairing some drywall in areas where there had been leaks upstairs, and then doing some painting. And so anyway, let's get this down. This is I'm using all scraps here. It's baby got scraps time, and my only full sheet of paper is going to be this leafy, beautiful, beautiful leafy print that Sharon sent. I'm going to overlap this. I don't want to jam myself up down the other direction. So I'm going to put this down with some glue. I'm going to put it down like that, and when I put the burlap, this is some burlap ribbon that I just discovered. Sharon also sent a piece of burlap that made me realize how much I love burlap texture, and I had bought this ribbon and it was in with the Christmas ribbon, and I found it, located it of course during Christmas, and thought, oh, I've got to put that with my scrapbooking supplies, and I didn't, so I hunted it down and I'm using it. I don't know why I'm using it. It's something that, again, it's something I think John would like. Oh, let me see. I'm also doing this piece of paper. I know you're surprised that I'm not using the floral side of that, but John loved orange, and I thought I'd use the orange as a nod to him. The whole page, of course, is a remembering John page. Okay, so let's get some adhesive on here, and I'm gonna put it right there. I want to do some glue on this part, the part that's touching the burlap. I need this over a bit. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm going to organize these goodies. I want the east to show because it says we're looking out in the morning light, and that's east. So this will go over there. So I need some foam behind it. I also want this to be up on some foam, and I'm going to do it this way to get the whole thing raised up. I'll do it that way, kind of overlapping there. The compass rose kind of was a bit of a nod to our celestial navigation days. We decided when we retired, we were renting a little or leasing a little sailboat, not from a place that was right next to where we lived, and we got into sailing so deeply and passionately that we decided when we retired we wanted to sail around the world. So we took celestial navigation course, and we'd take the boat out at night and try our and I would say that we never would have qualified for we could only have ever taken out our own boat because, but in any case, I'm sure we'd have gotten better at some point, but we didn't really get there because I'm going to put that kind of like that. Is that this goes across there, so that gives it some stability. I'm going to dry fit it right there, and we'll see. I know I want this on some foam tape. So we didn't, when we retired, we came to live by the grandkids, and it just never. We also had an RV, and we envisioned driving all over the country in our RV, and that didn't happen either. So, okay, now I'm gonna put this flower cluster here because the colors just look so nice up next to the people in the picture. And I have this sunflower and this. I've got, let's try these leaves maybe coming out from there. And press that down because it's got to make good contact with enough of the burlap for the glue to make a difference, to actually work. And I'm putting lots of glue so that it has lots of opportunity to make contact. Let's see, does that want to go there or someplace else? I think I'm gonna let it go there. The levels are a little bit strange with the burlap kind of being a little more fluid level wise. Let me put that there. I want to be sure that the shape of the hexagon shows. I'm going to put this little guy right over next to him with the hearts kind of overlapping his little sweatshirt, and which is now my sweatshirt. Or not sweatshirt, it's kind of a hoodie jacket sort of a thing. And I'm going to put this little wooden leaf sprig there and the XOXO circle here. Just kind of part of that cluster. And I want now to add some bright color over to this side. And I've got this little toucan. And I will say to you that I absolutely do not recall seeing very many toucans as we looked out into the morning light at our at any of the places we ever lived. But I thought he was cute, and he adds color. Some of the colors that are in this get picked up there, and it just looks kind of cute. I'm gonna do a camera flare here, but first I want to lay down, and this this ginkgo biloba leaf is something that John would have appreciated. I went nuts when I saw my first ginkgo tree. I hadn't seen any when I was growing up, and I want to put this on top of it, so it almost needs to go this way, and this go. I don't want to cover up the east. Let's see if I do that. I'm not sure. Let me do something that is a little less detailed than that, and I can put this maybe here this way. Let's do that. And this is from a Heidi Swap collection of a few years back. Let's see. I'll put it up a little bit, and then I'll put the camera kind of right behind the toucan. And the ginkgo leaf comes out. So anyway, we had a landscaping company, and I loved the ginkgo trees, and I kept every design I did for a customer, I'd want to put in a ginkgo tree. So John said that I was going to be responsible for populating the Richmond-Rosenberg area in Texas with an inordinate number of ginkgo biloba trees. So if you're from that area and you notice a lot of ginkgo trees, chances are I planted them, or we planted them. He dug the holes and I put the tree in. So I'm going to put this little wooden star over here in this cluster. It has a kind of a burnt edge there, but I kind of like that about it, so I'm going to put it there. I'll add another one over here just for the heck of it. I need to add this sunflower, and I think I might just do it here, tucked under the photo and under the penguin. Or, okay, that works for me. I like the ampersand, and I'm going to put it over here by the hearts. And let it kind of overlap the photo down onto the red part. John, when we met, said that he was a dog person and didn't really much care for cats. So then we got a cat. Someone that he worked with had a cat that had kittens, and he I'm going to put the turtle right there, and I'm covering the artist's name, and I'm going to have to look his name up. I know that Sally is out there saying, why aren't you saying the artist's name? Because she's a fan of his work, but I have forgotten it, and I'll probably end up having to ask her to help me out with that. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to put the mushrooms here, just again because it's kind of an outdoor sort of thing, and I'm going to sneak the cat in over here kind of halfway behind the mushrooms. And so every cat that we ever had became kind of John's cat. And I just this morning, what made me think of adding a cat to my next page was that I went outside to photograph a different layout, and I had to move the little. We got when Scout, our last kitty, died in 2010. We got an urn in the shape of a cat, and I can see it from when I'm standing doing dishes. I can look all the way through the office and the workshop through the doors out to the little seating area there, and I can see Scout. So I say hello to Scout just about every morning, and so I thought, well, I have to put a kitty. Bramble Fox sent me some of those as um, creative team collection of goodies. I've got this heart with another heart up on it, and I thought maybe I could use it somewhere. I don't see anywhere right now. I have another ampersand. So let's just arrange these things, the word strips, and then I may have a spot. I may find a spot especially for that heart. This is a jumble of a page. I said as I was doing another kind of, heavily loaded page earlier, I said I must be getting ready for Calvin Ball, so I guess that could explain this page. And I've got photograph here, do that right there, and then there's Together Forever can go there, and then You Are Incredible can go there. That works. I didn't plan it that way, but it turns out that it's gonna work. I need something right there to fill that gap between the mushrooms and the hexagon. So let's see what we have here. Okay, and that works out great with that little. This thing has been kicking around in my. It's a Vicky Bouton. I forget what collection that's from. Maybe Where to Next. There were some arrows, metal arrows, and those jewels. It was kind of a multi-pack of different embellishments, and they came in a Mind the Scrap kit, and I just loved them. Okay, so here, this big word, thankful, that's just the main thing I feel when I think of John, is thankful that I had those 40 years with him. I spend way too much time being regretful that it wasn't more. And the fact is that I was very, very lucky. Okay, so I think that kind of arrangement will work. The little surprises reference is talking about the photo, the art that I brought back for him. That's not gonna work. I've got to get that adhesive off of there, and thankfully it came off. May need to get my stapler, and I can do that. Okay, let's go like this, and I'm gonna kind of put that there and try hard not to staple over the word. Okay, that seemed to work. It's a little bit not straight, but I bet I can kind of twist it around like that. Okay, that seemed to work. And now I want to glue this down. I like the contrast and colors there. Everyday moments, you know, that whole idea of sitting on the back porch. And actually our deck here at this house also, and I have the art hanging as so that you see it as you walk out onto the deck, and it faces east as well. So all of our sitting out on the back deck and having cups of coffee was also in the morning light. Okay, I still have this, which I want to put somewhere. I'm going to stick the ampersand here. And I have no idea where I'm going to put the heart, but I'm putting it on there, folks. It is not getting left off. Okay, that wants to push out, so I guess it's some foam adhesive under there. Here, I like that. And this is the cutest little thing. I think it's from, I believe it came from Shadney. It's like, it's hard to explain what that is. It's spongy, like spongy, more fabric-y cork. Just really cute. And I think it was in a set of gifts for ordering something. I guess I'll put that away later. Okay. I think this is done. I'm not going to add splatters or sequins or anything else to it. I think it's fully loaded, and it's a purely self-indulgent page about and for and thinking of and in memory of John. So I thank you for allowing me to share this with you, and I think you all understand. Bye.